mic stays warm. Hosted by the dad with lots of charm. Insights are sharp and data's high. The lands are ready and the jokes are light. Hot takes, real talk, keeping it true. From high school halls to podcast cues, live a little, learn a lot. Turn it up, this show is hot. Grab your coffee and let's get into it. No filter, no fluff, just real talk. Let's do it. Ready or not, here we go. It's time for Murphman to start the show.
All right, welcome back to Hot Takes with the Murphman. How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing good.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's because I didn't see anything moving. Sorry about that, guys. So how's everyone doing today? Everyone, you.
Yes, I'm doing good. How you doing, Murphman?
I am doing good. Summer vacations are halfway gone.
Already?
Already.
Oh my
The month
God.
of June just passed by so freaking fast. You know what I mean? It's one
Yeah.
of those things that it's gone by fast, but we've gotten a lot done. I think so.
Me too. Just not the studio.
What do you mean? The studio's done, dude. We just got a little tweak things, but we're good.
Yeah. We just gotta move some stuff. That's it. Yeah.
And hopefully by the end of next week, we can get some stuff done for the business. Because I'm ordering new equipment again.
Yay. Again.
I'll tell you right now, it's been a busy month because we've been sitting here trying to figure out all our appointments, our medical appointments, business appointments, coming up with my operation plan, getting everything ready to do my LLC. And this weekend, I have to get everything done. So it's going to be a pretty busy weekend for me.
Why this weekend?
Because Tuesday morning, I got my business meeting to talk about how to set everything up officially. And I'm officially going to be opening 3 LLCs.
Wow.
One for the podcast and all our entertainment stuff, the DJ, all that stuff. And then one for the entertainment, which is our trivia, karaoke, and all that. And then one for the consulting business that I'm going to be starting.
Okay.
So it seems like a lot, but it's not. It's just the setup has to be done right to protect the business and everything, the bank accounts and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and then I can request funding and I can ask for grants, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I can't wait. What do you think?
I can't wait either.
Yeah. Well, later on in the show, we'll talk about some stuff coming up with that. You know, but I think right now, Connor, I think it's time to ignite the fuse. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Raises are earned, not handed out. Today, we are talking about your first 90 days on the job, how to make a great impression. The first 3 months are your audition, your foundation, and your launchpad. This episode shows new employees how to show up, stand out, and set the tone for long-term success. The fuse is lit. Murphman, take the mic.
You know, the first 3 months are your audition at the job. You have to prove yourself in those first 90 days.
Yeah.
You know, people don't realize how important that is. And it's also important for the company to audition for us as employees. Because, and we'll talk about this later, but remember that one job I quit within the first week?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not a company that I wanted to work for, you know? So it's the foundation, it's your launch pad. It's shows employees who you are. And a lot of times that first impression is hard to overcome if you don't do it correctly. So it's one of those things that you have to be able to manage those first 90 days.
Yes.
You know, an example of that is when I started at the runaway shelter, I was not used to working with people who had counseling degrees and counselors and therapists and everything. And one of my favorite things to talk about is PTSD.
hmm
And I was talking with another counselor and I started educating her about PTSD. And then I said, what am I, you're a licensed counselor. You already know what that is, And she went to go complain to my boss and she's like, he was like, you should know what that is. Like, I'm like, that's not how I meant it,
Mm.
And my boss was like, you need to deal with this. And I said, oh, I will, trust me. Because that's not my intention. I was like, I don't want to sound like that condescending jerk that is always talking down to people like, oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. It was the exact opposite,
Mm.
And eventually that girl and I became really good friends.
Yeah.
That's that I heard she was working with the Department of Justice.
Wow.
Yeah. It was yeah.
I was expecting Department of Justice.
Yeah, so those first 90 days can be a very impactful time in a person's life because it's all about how you start the job and everything. So that's what we're going to talk about today. What I think is important to note here is in my day, and I've talked about this before, we had loyalty at the job. We didn't move. We didn't change. We stayed there for years, right? And now we jump ship every now and then, much sooner and much quicker. So I think those 90 days come more often now than they used to because you're always getting new jobs. I will ask you, Connor, what do you think is an average time frame that a person stays at the job?
If you're not jumping between other jobs, I would say 3-4 months.
You're going to get a new job every 3 or 4 months?
I feel like you would. Yeah. Wait, you want like what, a year?
You really would jump ship after 3 months?
Yeah, because that's when you know how good the job is, if you want it or not. You get your first couple of paychecks.
Sorry, I'm chewing nice. Yeah.
That's enough time for
but
any development or any changes.
Yeah, but you might change a job within 90 days. But once you're there, how long do you think you'll stay at the job?
Like without wanting to switch?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, 2 to 3 years.
I guess.
Maybe 2 years.
Max, 2 years.
But if you start changing jobs, like 3 jobs in 3 years, that's a red flag to employers. Because why should I hire you if you're going to leave me in a year?
Yeah.
So you don't want to jump ship too early, but you don't want to jump ship after so many years because you get new opportunities and more money. With what I'm doing right now, my boss is like, you're going to be quitting, aren't you? I'm like, no, I want to retire from here. And I want to be here till I retire. I don't want another job. I'm happy where I'm at. I love my job.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes bosses are used to people jumping ship. When I was talking to H-Train from MBR when I first met him, he's like, oh, you're only going to be here like 6 months and then you're going to be moving on. I'm like, why do people think that? That's the culture nowadays. But I do believe in dedicating the time to your job and to your employer and giving 100%. I think that's so important.
It really is important.
And it starts off in the first 90 days. Like the craziest thing I can tell you right now, you were talking about you can tell a lot about a company in the first 90 days. I was hired to start January 6th or January 9th. No, January 6th was last day at the last job, and my new job was January 9th. And on the 11th, which is 2 days later, I'm still onboarding, doing all my training, all my classes and all that stuff. but I took over a class for Spanish. So I was hired to take over that class.
While in training.
Well, I was hired for that purpose.
But you were in training.
Oh.
So was that class technically your training?
I learned as I went, right?
Mm.
And my coworker, taught me a lot. And now I'm at the point where like, okay, I can take over the class. I can, it's not a big deal. But the support I got from everyone in that department, I love the Spanish or the other language departments because we do French, we do sign language, we do all that. And that's like my niche there, and I think it's so funny because I never expected myself to be a foreign language teacher.
Me neither. I don't see you as a language teacher.
My Spanish is my first language.
I mean, yeah.
But to teach it is very different. It's one thing to learn how to talk. Like, for example, when I was in high school, we took Spanish classes and it was hard. It was very hard to take those classes. And as we got older and we moved on, I took French instead. I ended up taking 3 years of French because it was easier for me to learn French than it was to do Spanish classes.
Really?
Yeah, because you have to learn a lot of the conjugation and everything.
Oh, I hated those.
And yeah, right? Well, for whatever reason, I was able to do it better in French than I was in Spanish. Je parle français, j'ai étudié au lycée 3 années. Je parle un peu. Je m'appelle Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea what you said, but yeah. What did you say? Just so
I just
we
said,
could all know.
I speak a little bit of French. I studied for 3 years in high school. My name is Sean.
Wow.
But I still think one of the funniest things ever in French was my French book. The first sentence we learned to ask was, "Where is the beach?" And the second sentence is, "Where's your apartment?" So like we're supposed to go to France, go to the beach and meet someone and go to their house, right?
Yeah.
That was just like the first lesson. And I think that was just to teach us that, French can be fun to learn. I'm not talking about the beach. I'm talking about, but I took it like, damn.
Straight to the beach
Straight
and then
to the
the
beach
house.
to the apartment. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's funny because when I took French, it was a lot of fun. I love my teachers. Ms. Grijalva was an amazing teacher. And I had another one, I can't remember her name, but I loved them. They were great. And now that I'm in the other than English department, I'm learning a lot, covering sign language. One time, we're talking about teaching, right? I don't speak sign language. And a student comes in and says, I need help with the sign language. So I said, hold on. And I go get a video of how to say that. And then I started mimicking the video. And as I'm mimicking the video, the kid looks at me and she's like, oh yeah, that's exactly, yes. Thank you. But she didn't know I was looking at the video. I was just copying the video. And what's funny is when you look at like grandmother and grandfather, the motion is from here to here.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I looked at the image, it looked like it was two hands. And no, it's actually this. Excuse me. And, so I was doing things like that, and we learn as we go. But those first 90 days, Connor, God, man, I'll tell you, at my job, it's always been fast moving. It's always been fast moving.
Yeah.
And every job I've ever had, those first 9 days are so important to me, because I try to make an impression on everybody.
Yeah.
And we'll also talk about the opposite of that, like the company making an impression on you.
Oh.
A lot of times when you get to start a new job, you're very eager to get started, right? Full of energy,
Yeah.
You're excited.
No, I want to say full of energy.
Well,
Sometimes.
I am. And when employees come up to you and go, hey, slow down, chill out, you're making us look bad. That's not a good sign, is it?
No.
So be aware that those 90 days, people do get to see you and you get to see them and how they really are. And one of my pet peeves is when someone says, hey, slow down, you're doing too much at a new job. So I'll tell you what, though, I want to get started with the show and let's get to the burning question. What do you think, Connor?
Sounds good.
The best way to ask. Today's burning question is, what is the most important goal for a new employee in their first 90 days? A. Getting a promotion. B. Proving you know everything. C. Listening, learning, and building relationships. D. Taking on as many projects as possible.
All right. So what's the most important goal for the 90 days, Connor? Is getting a promotion, proving you know everything, listening, learning, and building relationships, or taking on as many projects as possible?
Well, you know me, every job, the first thing you need to do is obviously see, listen, learn, and build new relationships with your coworkers and employers.
That's right. Again, what have we been talking about? It's all about getting along
Networking.
and networking and getting to know the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every job has this onboarding process, or they should have this onboarding process where you get training, you get manuals and everything. Now, I don't know if you remember the movie Waiting.
No. Oh, yes.
All right. If you haven't seen Waiting, it's an amazing movie. I love it.
I like the movie also.
It's with Ryan Reynolds, and it's about this guy's first day on the job and all the bull he has to put up with. He's supposed to be training and doing videos, and like, you don't need to watch those videos. Come over here and just start working. And one guy starts going around and teaching him. The employee can't ask any questions because the other guy's always talking. Like, he just doesn't get to ask any. He hardly has any lines throughout the whole movie, but he has the most important scene in the movie at the end. It's pretty cool, right? But aside from that, all the employees are teaching them this game they play together, and it's a very inappropriate game. And it's sexual harassment. It's the worst introduction to a job I could ever imagine.
Right? If it was a real experience, I'd be like, whoa.
Well,
I'd be like, whoa, and then whoa.
Some jobs are like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man,
I don't know what job you're thinking of, but
no. Some jobs, they treat you like that. Maybe not the very first day, but they have to, like, for example, if a group is a very close-knit group,
and then someone else
and someone comes in,
you already got to get used to their niche and all that.
Yeah, you're not going to really be long. So they have to test you. And one of the biggest things, hold on, excuse me. One of the biggest things that a lot of people have is cursing. Should you curse at work?
No,
you shouldn't.
No.
Do people curse at work?
Yeah.
Yes. So for me, because every now and then adult language will slip out of my mouth, right? I want to know, do people curse at my new job?
From what I've seen, they don't seem like the people to.
Oh, trust me, they do.
Really?
Yeah, but it's mostly because of me.
Of course it is.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But when you're there, okay, you have to learn the culture of the business. And like, for example, when I was 17 years old and I joined the Army Reserves,
mm-hmm.
I'm with adults already. There's people there that I was working with that were 40, 50 years old, right?
Wow.
Maybe not that
like
old.
Your same rank, or you were just working with them in the group?
No, all my officers, all my sergeants and all that, people above me. And I was this young 17-year-old kid, right? And I joined the military. I go to the reserves, and that first weekend, they were like, hey, we're going to go hang out after work. You want to come grab a beer with us? And I'm like, I'm 17 years old. Like, I don't care about that. And we went to a bar, and I was drinking a couple beers. I didn't get stupid or silly or anything, right? Sunday morning, my second day on the job, it was like I was one of the guys. They accepted me. They treated me nicely. They joked with me. I fit in automatically. Like, those were my peeps. And their test was, is this guy cool or not? Can we be fun with him? Can we joke around with him? Can we do things with him? And being 17 years old, working, with these other people, it was like, it was really, we had to be accepted immediately. Well, that on Sunday morning, we're doing training. Remember, this is my first day on the job. This is before any training. They send you to the Army, and you get your uniforms and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And my second day on the job, we're doing training, and I'm following along, right? And then we get to the end of the project, and an hour or two later, and I look at mine, and I look at everyone else's, and mine's different. It's different. And I raised my hand. I said, I know I'm new, but can someone explain this to me, what I did wrong? And they were very supportive. Of course, let's see. Come on, Murph. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Hold on. Murph's right. We are all wrong. The thing is, when you get used to doing a job a certain way, you just do it that way without even really thinking about it. Me, who had no idea, I was listening and I was doing it the right way without it, because I was listening to the training. Everyone else was like, oh, this is how you do it. No big deal. Now, at that point, because we went out again Sunday night.
Sunday night?
No, well, Sunday afternoon after, we got off work.
Oh, I was like, wow.
We went to the car wash across the street and started drinking some beers and whatnot. And everyone's like, oh, he's a nerd. Mr. Goody, he's better than us. He knows what we're doing. And it was all ribbing. It was just making fun of me and everything. And it was funny because imagine that first day had I not gone out with him. And then the next day I correct everybody. There's an impression left there. And we don't see each other for a whole month.
Oh.
Right? So the following month, are they going to be as friendly and everything? Maybe. But that first test, right, was going out that night. And drinking at 17 years old. The fact that they let me drink and the fact that I was drinking, everyone was like, okay, yeah, we're good with this guy, right? To the point where one night, because I could drink. Back then, I told you I was an alcoholic. One night I went out and I was drinking punch. And I didn't realize it was spiked punch. I had never heard of jungle juice. I thought it was just Kool-Aid.
And I'm like, I never heard of that flavor. Let me try it.
And I got to work in the morning and I was drunk. And I walked into my first sergeant's office and I said, hey, Top, I'm drunk. I'm not hungover. I'm drunk. And I said, I was drinking the punch and I didn't realize it was spiked. And I'm not stupid. He knew I was drinking and everything, right? But now I show up to work in the Army drunk. That's enough to get me kicked out and even thrown in jail type thing, right? And he's like, God damn it, Murphy. He says, you're going to stay here today. You're going to owe me 2 days of work. It's sort of like a little punishment, but nothing official on the record. And that day, dude, I'm working on this board that was probably like 8 feet by 4 feet because I was a draftsman. I had to draw stuff. I had to do stuff. And I fell asleep on the board. If you go look at the board, nowadays it's been fixed, but you'd see those drill spots where I'd fall asleep.
Oh, God.
Because I was on the floor working on it. It was bad.
I bet.
But, in the Army, you look out for your homies. And there's that camaraderie, that friendship, that brotherhood. And everyone knew I wasn't irresponsible like that. Because they'd seen me drinking. For me to be drunk, it took a lot back then. And they're like, there's no way he would have drank this much knowing he had to come to work.
Yeah.
So they believed me, and it was that, But, yeah, it was really interesting. those 90 days, how I started to where I ended up was pretty cool. But I'll tell you what, let's get to today's hot take and let's hear what it's going to be.
The best way to ask. Today's burning question is, what is the most important goal? Value is the only relevant metric. Today's hot take is this. Your first 90 days are not about impressing your boss with your existing knowledge. They're about demonstrating your capacity to learn and adapt. Trying to prove you know everything is the fastest way to signal arrogance and kill the trust you need to build with your team. Murphman, it's your turn to fan the flames.
Fan the flames.
I was going to say, fan the flames. Mage.
Value is the only relevant metric. It's not about what you know. It's about you're able to learn and adapt and make those arrangements and adapt to your new coworkers. It's all about that, you guys, because you understand that as you're doing this, it is a actual process that you have to go through. And when you have this process, they're judging you, you're judging them. And there's a lot to learn the first few days of work.
I would say like the first 2 weeks, you need to learn everything.
And sometimes there's a job you really can't just, how can I put this? Some jobs you have to jump into with both feet. Like when I was a cart boy at Kmart, they were like, go pick up the carts. That was right. Like that's my training.
Yeah. Go ahead, pick up the carts. Yeah.
So I had to push them and everything. And I learned how many I could push, this is before we had those automatic cart pushers, right? But there's some jobs that you have to get trained on before you can do anything. And there's some jobs you have to get trained on for 3 to 6 months before they let you do anything real.
Like what?
Real technical jobs, because you have to learn the systems there and everything. Going to a call center and having to learn the scripts, how everything is said. You don't just jump in their first day. You listen to people call, you observe them, you listen, and there's a bunch of that going on. And when you're sitting there and you're being trained, if you're not looking interested or you're not really paying attention, they're going to be like, this guy doesn't really care about being here. And they can let you go, right? So it's one of those things that you need to ask questions. You need to learn and adapt to their way of doing things because it's all different.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Connor, we've been talking here for a little while. I think it's time to take a little break. And we can come back and we can talk more about everything.
Yeah. and get a little break for your cough.
Yeah. This is bad. All right. So I'll tell you what. When we come back, we'll talk about the definitions of what we're going to be talking about. And see you in a little bit.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murphman will return after these messages.
According to the VA's suicide data report, an average of 22 veterans die by suicide every single day. This figure is a sobering reality and a crisis that demands our immediate attention and compassion. We must recognize and address the fact that every 24 hours, 22 veterans are losing their lives to suicide. The war doesn't always end when our veterans come home. The invisible wounds they carry, wounds that are real and heavy, require continuous support. No veteran should have to carry this burden alone. Many veterans experience stress and disconnection as they navigate life after service. But there is hope, there is help, and you are not alone in this fight. There's a vibrant community ready to support you, offering friendship, understanding, and shared experiences. You served your country, now let us serve you. Don't fight the toughest battle in silence. Your mission now is to reach out. Dial 988, then press 1. Text them at 838255. The Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7. Every day, we save lives. Your life is invaluable, and your service is honored. Let's work together to make 22-0 again. No veteran should face their struggles alone. Together, we can ensure every veteran finds the support and hope they deserve.
He gets help, but he still feels off. Sees an ad on the TV about a dog bad and said, this is a man's best friend. Whoa, so he goes one day and he picks it up. Never thought a dog could bring so much love and put a smile on his face. But he's finally found a saving grace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help, 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at mbradio.u.
All right. We are back. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Well, let me tell you about that video, you guys. Ryan Spencer's song, Make 22-0 Again, is one of the first videos I played when we first started this. And it really touched me. And I said, I'm going to make a video for it. So actually, I have this video that I made to bring awareness to veteran suicide. 22 people a day lose their lives to suicide. You know, there's no need for that. You guys call, get some help. Even if you're not a veteran or military, 988, press 1. That's a crisis line for everybody. It's not just for vets. Anyone can call in. So if you guys have that issue, please call. There's always someone listening, and we're here to help. I say we, not me. They are there to help. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Worded more correctly.
You know, but we always talk about this because I think it's an important thing to talk about. I don't ignore it. You know, one of those things about people who want to hurt themselves, people think that if you ask a question of someone who wants to hurt themselves, that you're going to push them into hurting themselves. That's not true. A lot of people who are thinking of that want to talk to someone, they just don't know how. You know, so 988, press 1, 24/7, 365. They're there to help you. Make sure you call if you need some help, you guys. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think it's time to get started with today's definitions.
You okay?
No, I think I just had a mini stroke.
Definition.
Let's talk about today's definitions in our segment called Laying Down the Coals.
Define your value. Define the ask. Before we dig in, let's clarify some of the key terms we'll be using today while laying down the coals. Onboarding, the process of integrating a new employee into the organization and its culture. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This is what the onboarding period is for. Early wins, small, achievable successes in the first few weeks that demonstrate value and build confidence. Professional presence, the way you carry yourself, communicate, and contribute in the workplace. This includes everything from your body language to your email etiquette. Now that the coals are laid, Murphman, let's discuss the foundation.
All right. So onboarding, learning your role, the culture and expectations of the job, whatever you've been talking about, right? That's all part of onboarding. It's not just the training you get. It's understanding the culture. For example, one thing that they'll tell you is, hey, careful.
You okay, Murphman?
Oh, God, allergies.
Is that time of the season?
Oh, it's always that time of season for me.
Mm.
One thing that happens in your first few days of work is they tell you, hey, careful with such and such person. That's not a person you want to joke around with. That's not a person you want to be cool with. That's not a person you want to piss off. Right? They tell you things like that, don't they? So you need to learn what they expect from you as well. Early wins, meaningful contributions, building credibility. You know, when I started this job that I told you I quit after a week, my first day on the job, I had to go to jury duty. Not jury, I'm sorry. I had to testify in a court case. And my new boss was like, it's your first day. I'm like, I got subpoenaed. So how often is this going to happen? I said, I don't know. I mean, I had a job where I was going to court with stuff, you know? And I said, I can't control them, you know. She didn't like the fact that I got called out the first day of work. I don't blame her, but is it really my fault?
I mean, did you tell her?
Oh, yeah.
Then,
you know, but when I went back the second day, there was already tension between us, and it just got worse all week. You know,
is this the week job?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was horrible. I can't believe I quit after a week. I'm so embarrassed to say that.
Well, I mean, it's not bad that you quit in a week because it was a bad and like toxic environment. So
it was a very toxic environment. Years later, I bumped into one of the girls I used to work with, and she told me how toxic it was, and they were shocked that I quit after a week.
Why?
That I had the intestinal fortitude, the balls to quit.
Well, I mean, yeah,
because no one had ever stood up to her like I did.
And then they're not smart for thinking that.
Well, it's hard to quit a job sometimes, you know, when that's all you have.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't have another job to go to, but I found one, and everything turned out all right. And last but not least, that professional presence we talked about. Remember cursing or how we talk to people? You know, that first day on the job, you find out about people, and it's all part of that professional presence. You know, you don't realize it, but you're being tested every moment of every day that you start a job. The way you dress, the way you talk, how often you cough. I'm sorry. I have allergies. What can I say? When you sit there and you're not very professional, you're disrespectful, you talk bad about people. And another thing is, when you start a new job, if you talk bad about your old job, they're going to be like, man, careful what you tell this guy, because he goes and tells people everything. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to talk bad about your old job. Just be like, that's the way it was, and, you know, whatever. Just be professional. You know, for some people, that's very hard to do. Even if you're working at a gas station or something, you think, oh, I don't have to worry about the way I talk, or yeah, you do. Always have to be professional, because you never know who you're training with. You know, because they're going to go back and report to the boss. Hey, you know what? He's cool or he's not cool. Right? So just be aware of all that stuff. But I can tell you, you know, I always think one of the things we do is we talk about all our experiences, Connor. I think I always want that one example outside of us. So I'm going to go ahead and share the story from the fire with everyone now.
Okay.
Raises are recognition, not rewards. Jasmine started her first job unsure of how to stand out. She asked thoughtful questions, took initiative on a small project, and followed up with her manager weekly. By day 90, she was already being considered for a leadership track. Her proactive approach paid off, while others were still trying to figure out the basics. That was a story from the fire. Murphman, are you feeling the heat?
Why are you laughing, Connor?
I don't know. Just the way he says stuff is just funny.
Right? Yeah. I like that voiceover. I like the way he says everything and whatnot. All right. So Jasmine started her first job. She didn't know how to stand out. So she just asked questions, took initiative, took on a small project, and followed up with her manager weekly. Real simple. Real simple. And before you know it, 90 days were over and she was already expected to get a job.
I mean, you mean a raise?
Oh, yeah, a raise. Sorry.
I'm like, all that just to get the job?
Well, yeah. But let me tell you. I started a job at El Paso High School. Yes. Part-time.
Yeah.
And my principal told me, this is what your job is. Do it. I did. And I did it really, really, really well. In 2 months, she found a way to get money from her budget to offer me a full-time position.
Well, look at that.
You know, those 90 days are very important. You know, working part-time, like I'll ask you, when you work part-time, how long do you think it took them to make you a full-time employee?
I was going to say, which you got to mention it. I think it was about 90 days, about like around there. It wasn't long. It wasn't probably long before then.
Right. And how long before they wanted you to be a crew leader?
They didn't want me to. They gave me the like jobs and they were like, we're considering it, but you still got to like, you know.
Well, there's some things you have to do, but they're considering it, is my point.
And that was like in 6 months of working there, 7 months.
So you make that impact right away. You caught yourself saying it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do it, but you did it.
I did it. Yeah.
6, 7 months.
Anyways.
And, you know, so sometimes, you know, a part-time job can turn into a full-time job to a promotion job within just a few months, dude.
And then.
Yeah.
Might get fired. Yeah.
You didn't get fired.
Huh.
You got let go.
Well, better term would be terminated, but yeah. Yeah, at a movie theater.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, right?
I see that you got terminated from your old job. What was that old job that you had? Oh, you know, popcorn, you know, cleaning theaters.
You know what?
Never expected me to get terminated from a movie.
Well, no, it had nothing to do with your work ethic. It's something personal stuff that happened between him and another employee. That's why we talk about professionalism and everything at work, right? But one of the funniest times that I don't realize this. One of the things people say is when you go to the movie theater and you go to the first movie in the morning, you're eating stale popcorn from the day before that's left over.
Mm.
And your theater lets the employees take home the popcorn.
No, not us. If we don't want it, we don't want it. We throw it away.
Well, right. But I'm saying, but you can take it home if you want to.
Yeah.
So,
but we give it to the last people that are there.
Well, yeah, whoever's closing.
No, like customers.
Oh,
in the last theater. Literally, when that movie's done, we're like, "Do you guys want the popcorn?" And they say yes. Go ahead, take it. And it's a big bag of just popcorn.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at. Connor's like, "Hey, Dad, you want me to take some popcorn home?" Like, yeah, sure, why not? I expected you to bring like, you know, the little grocery bags, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a trash bag full of popcorn.
It's because we literally keep it in one bag just so like we don't want it, throw it away. If we want it, then we can have some. from it, like really scoop it up, like how we usually do popcorn,
Yeah.
and then obviously all sterile, it's all clean.
The whole trash bag.
How long did that last you? Do you think?
No. Hold on. We gave it away to my brothers and our nieces and
Well,
stuff.
we had it here, but
Yeah, but we people were we told come and get popcorn. So they'd bring their bags and they got a whole bunch of popcorn. So yeah, we didn't throw away.
But how long do you think it lasted?
Oh, less than a couple days, dude. You see me eat popcorn.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those, when you're looking at all those positions and everything, it's so true that you want to have those first 90 days, because you can go from a part-time job to a full-time job to maybe even a leadership position if you're impressing people. At the same time, you may not stay there 90 days and they let you go because you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
That probationary first year, a lot of people that, they say probation is your first year. Yeah, you're allowed to make some mistakes, but at the same time, there's some mistakes you can't make. And that's a whole year of doing your job right. And you have to do it right, not the way you're going to end up doing it, in reality.
Yeah.
Right. So be aware of all that when you have those 90 days. Now, our next segment we talk about is called the heat map. And in the heat map, we have the actionable steps you can take to help you with these 90 days. So let's talk about that right now.
All right.
Track your wins, not just time. The heat map will show you where to focus your efforts for the most impact. Learn names, roles, and how your team fits into the bigger picture. Understand the company's mission and how your work contributes to it. Ask for a 30, 60, and 90-day check-in with your manager. This shows initiative and helps you get on the same page. Implement the active listening protocol, taking meticulous notes. Look for small ways to add value, solve a problem, streamline a task, or support a teammate. Show that you're a problem solver. The map is drawn. Back to Murphman for the next segment.
Focus your efforts on how you're going to impact everyone. All right. You want to learn people's names. That's probably the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you have an office job, who's the most important person you want to know?
The boss.
Well, of course.
That's it.
And the secretary.
Why secretary?
Because they are the hub of the organization. Everything goes through that secretary. So you need to make sure you learn their name. And then your coworkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn people's names. You can't be going around in the first couple of days going, hey, you.
hey, you in the back.
Got a question here, right? Now, what's funny is I met someone this week and they asked me to go to the dance hall to see what it's about and everything. And then the lady who was going to hire me, she goes, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. And I told her, and then I said, well, I didn't forget your name, but I'm confused. Is it this or this? It's like saying, I forgot, is your name like John or Paul? And he goes, it's John Paul. Oh, that's why I was confused. It's both names, not just one, And she had one of those Mexican names that had both names in it. So it threw me off.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, just sit here in the DJ booth and check it out, see how it all works. And she says, we have this system here and it's not working. If you can get it to work, we would really appreciate it. I had no idea how the system works. I've never used the system. And I guess what I did, Connor. See if you can remember what I did.
Well, I remember what you did.
What did I do?
You used Gemini, didn't you?
Yes, I love Gemini. I love Google Gemini.
Oh. Maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And we have one of those like...
I'm going to name my first kid Gemini in my new relationship.
I was like, I'm right here. Wow.
Yeah, well, I meant like my next kid, but yeah.
No.
My new kid. My first kid.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Should have worn that condom.
Sean, professionalism.
What he's referring to is when I did stand-up comedy, my very first joke, literally my very first joke was, you guys, I'm a dad of an 8-month-old baby. And I remember when I held him in my arms for the first time, I looked in his eyes and I said, I should have worn a condom.
And that's how Connor became. He was like, should have worn a condom.
Oh no, shut up. That's not how your name was. That's the first time you ever said. That's funny. But yeah, I went to Gemini and I showed a picture of the screen, and I said, I don't understand what's happening. Can you help me understand this? And they're like, well, it's not connected. So I said, here's a picture of all my equipment. So I started taking pictures of the equipment, and they said, oh, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is this. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Wow.
And we went in and I fixed the system. So then when her husband comes over an hour later, he's like, hey, I had these lights over here at these colors. Oh, she asked me to change them. So I've been changing them. He goes, how did you change them? And I said, oh, I did this and this and that. And I fixed this. And he was like, you got it back. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still not working. I can't turn the lights on. He goes, oh, that's because, and he goes to the wall and there's a switch. I'm like, God, a whole hour I wasted. If I had just turned the switch on, I would have had it fixed in 5 minutes.
And it was like what? Like
yeah, light switch.
Literally on the wall,
Yeah,
not
like
like
a
on the
light switch.
equipment or anything?
No.
Wow.
Everything was just set up already in the DJ booth. It was not connected to the lights out there, so I couldn't figure it out.
Well, it was connected. It was just not on. Okay.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
So anyway, so their first impression of me was I'm a problem solver. Right?
Yeah.
She was like, I don't even know how you did it. I said, I don't even know either. I know computers and I know systems. I didn't tell them I use Gemini.
Yeah.
But I added value to their dance hall. If I never go back, did I fix a problem for them? Are they going to remember me? Yeah. I saved them several $100s because they would have had to call the company to come in and program it again. And they didn't need to. So I told them it'll be $200. I was joking, of course. But making that kind of impression is very, very important because you don't realize the impact you can have on someone immediately. You know, and being that problem solver, being that friendly person, asking questions can change everything. And those first 90 days are so important because you get to do that. And with me, we're talking the first hour, I impressed them.
That's true. Yeah. First time meeting them, huh?
Yeah. So she's like, we definitely want to hire you as our DJ. We definitely want to hire you to do events here. We definitely want to do this stuff with you. And we look forward to working with you. And I said, well, let's talk about it. Because I'm just starting the business and I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. But I said, let's see what we can do. And I did.
Yeah.
You know. So those 90 days are teaching us about them. They're learning about us. We talked about those steps you can take. But now I'm going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about those pitfalls in a segment called Where You'll Get Burned. But first, a break. And being it's 4th of July coming up.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murphman will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's the line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Proud but torn, but if you knew him you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave, and then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Before we wrap up, here's a reminder. Hot Takes with the Murphman streams live every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern with Military Broadcast Radio. At mbradio.us, we give veterans a voice and help them launch their own podcasts. Hot Takes with the Murphman is partnered with Squad 915 Studios, the place for premium content you won't find in the live podcast or on socials. At stream915.com, we are a local platform made for El Paso with content exclusively created by El Pasoans. Check it out. It is free to create an account. Visit purehottakes.com to connect on socials and unlock your discount link to stream915.com.
What do you think of that video, Connor?
It's, I don't know.
Mr. Red, White, and Blue, Coffee Anderson.
Oh, I thought you meant the AI video.
No.
I was like, I don't know.
Because you were saying, how come you didn't say the name of the song? I'm like, yeah, you're right. So Coffee Anderson, Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Love it. Love the song. Love the patriotism behind it and everything. You know, I think it's one of those things that you don't realize.
Oh. Sean. You forgot to unpause from stream again. I looked up, it was like 3 seconds left. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we got to go again.
So we've been talking about the 90s on the job and everything, you know, being summer vacation. We got 1 more month. August 3rd, I go back. So a little bit more than a month, but you go back in a month and a half.
Yeah,
so,
August 20 something. I forgot what.
So we talked about those actionable steps you could take. So let's talk about those pitfalls in our segment called Where Are You Going to Get Burned?
not feelings. Let's talk about where you'll get burned. These are some common pitfalls. Trying to prove everything at once. Focus on learning and listening first. It's okay not to have all the answers on day one. Waiting for instructions. Take initiative and ask how you can help. Don't be a passive participant. Isolating. Build relationships early and often. Your coworkers are your greatest resource. Danger zone identified. Back to Murphman for the warning.
All right. So you want to avoid common workplace pitfalls, such as trying to prove you know everything at once. Be humble. You might actually know everything. When I was a counselor, to start as a counselor, I already knew what I was doing. And I had a lot more experience than some of the people already there. And it was hard for me to be humble because I was just so excited to be counseling again,
Yeah.
And that, like I talked about at the beginning of the show, that friend of mine that we ended up having a bit of conflict. Yeah, you don't want to go in as a know-it-all. You might know it all, but you don't want to be that person. You don't want to wait for instructions. You want to ask questions. You want to be able to take initiative and ask, how do I do this? How do I do that? They'll tell you, no, slow down. That's not part of your job. Okay, whatever. You also want to be able to build those relationships. That is probably the most important thing. I mean, that's what I've been talking about this whole hour, is building those relationships at work is so important. It's so important. People don't realize, whether you're 15, 16 years old, learning to cut grass or doing a paper delivery or whatever, going all the way to you're 60 years old and, going in volunteering in places, you got to build those relationships. You got to have those abilities to be able to talk to people and understand that those relationships help you down the road. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a danger zone. So just be aware of that. Now, as we talk about other things, when we talk about where you're going to get burned, those pitfalls, one of the things I didn't mention on that, but it was not knowing what to do. What if you really don't know what you're supposed to be doing? We say ask questions, but when you get hired to do a job and you have no idea what they're doing. Now, for example, I'm a teacher. I know how to teach, but there's a new system at this program I started. I don't know the new system. I don't know what. One of the hardest things for me at this job was learning how to use Google Suite, the Google Drive stuff, sharing documents. I never understood that before that.
Really?
And that's all they do there. And I was like, oh my God. It took me several weeks to several months to learn how to do that, because it's like going from Apple to PC and PC to Apple. You don't know the system. And I didn't know. And I felt so stupid because I really know computers. And I felt so stupid. My coworker, Mata's like, bro, it's not that hard. Like, yes, it is. This is like, I don't understand how this works.
So you had trouble for months on what exactly?
How to share documents. I'm used to emailing a whole document.
Yeah. Is that not what you do on Google?
No.
I've never used Google Slides, Google Doc, never any of that. I use Office, so this all Google stuff is new to me also.
Okay.
It's not even new. It's just unused.
Have you ever had to do a hyperlink? Do you know what that is?
Define it.
Well, it's a link. You click on it, takes you to a website.
Well, then, yeah.
But you do a hyperlink inside of a document.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
PowerPoint. I mean, there's literally a thing that says hyperlink.
Right. Okay. So I click on the link and it takes me to the document.
Yeah.
Or a website, I should say.
Yeah.
Google it takes you to the document that's saved on your drive. So you put a link for the document to your hard drive, like you would have a path, like you go C drive to documents to downloads to whatever.
So you're on a document, and it takes you to another document.
No. The link, instead of taking you to a website,
it takes you to another
takes
document.
you to the document.
To the same one?
No.
To another one.
To a different one.
That's what I'm saying.
So like I had a welcome letter. And my welcome letter says, "Hi, this is Mr. Murphy. We're going to be talking about this and this and this in Spanish. Here is my landing page. Here is my resources. Here is how you can request whatever." And they're all links to other documents. Now, in the document itself, you have to share it to either a specific person, or you could restrict it that no one
in your
can
network or just yourself,
that no one can open, or to your coworkers, or to anyone with the link. So they're in network, they'll have access to it. So a lot of times students would go from their personal Gmail, personal computers, and try to go in, and it wouldn't give them access because they're not in the network.
School email. Yeah.
Right. So I didn't understand this. I'm like, the link's there, just click on it. And it took me so long to understand the whole system. Right?
Yeah.
Now I understand it. It's been 3.5 years.
I mean, I would hope so.
But I still forget to share it. I forget to do the link. When you do the link, I can give it to you access as a viewer,
or editor,
as a commenter, or as an editor. So there's all these different settings you have to have in the documents. So when I have a new document, it happens, right? So what's funny is this last year, I took over 2 different teachers' classes because they left. And I had access to their documents, but I couldn't edit them.
Wow.
So I made my own copy, and I can edit that one. But I wouldn't change theirs. So when I was giving students access, I gave them editing copy rights. So they went into my original document and changed stuff.
What would they change?
Well, like, for example, here's the 5 questions I need you to answer.
Oh,
they would go in there and answer them. So the next student who clicked on the link would go in. They already have the answers. little things like that still happen just because you're not paying attention to the details. But when I first started, I had no clue how any of that worked. No clue whatsoever. No clue. None. Now that I know how it all works, it's so easy, you guys. And did you know you can actually get certified on Google to, how to use our suite? It's a certification you can get.
What?
Yeah. You go online, you go to the Google University, and you learn how to use things. And you get a certification in it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I still like using Microsoft Word in Office.
Yeah.
Because
I've been using it for like 9 years now, 10 years.
You have Control X, Control C, Control V, right? Well, I tried doing that in Word, and it says you must install this.
Like what? Install shortcuts or?
Yeah. It's like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't know why it does that, right? But as you learn it, you'll see that there's all these different things you can do. Now, what is also funny is you have all the Google Suite stuff, and I started using Google Vids, right? And when I was working at the broadcast club at school, I did a Google Vid. I gave everyone access to it so they could insert their own videos. And it was funny because if you came in first, you had the first video. Other students were like, no, I want to be first. So they'd go put their video in first. They would change it back and forth constantly. And I think that's funny, but it actually gives them editing understanding, how to change stuff around. And at the final, at the very end, whoever had it first, it didn't matter to me because I put them all alphabetical.
Yeah.
Right. But there's so many things, Google Forms, that you can go in, you can do questions. and it compiles all the data for. It's really amazing. And with my new websites that I'm working on, I'm going to be using Google Suite stuff. SUITE, not SWEET. Okay, we're not talking about candy here. We're talking about the suite, the whole program of it. And go to Google, look up Google University, and you're good. Now, do you know where the term Google it first was used?
No.
I want you to verify this for me, okay? On your phone.
Oh.
Okay. Hot tub time machine. I think that's the first time it was used. I might be wrong. But there's another, it's another famous movie.
So I'm looking at first time using the word Google.
Yeah, Google it.
I don't know about hot tub time machine.
Okay, just what does it say?
Hold on.
When you're using AI, one of the things you have to learn how to do is a prompt. You have to know how to ask the question. Same thing with searching the internet. I asked them, when was the first time Google it was used? I don't know what you typed in because that should give you the answer immediately.
It was because I was.
What are you doing?
Hold on.
One question. One question.
It's because I'm rewording it just so. 1997, when founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin made their search engine. And then, let me see. And that's what you tell me what I looked up, right? Yeah, that's
no. What was the question you asked, Connor?
When was the first time Google was used?
No.
The term
Google it.
Google it.
Google it.
I heard Google was like Google it as in like you Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
Not to look up Google it, but I thought you meant like Google it on what the first time Google was used. Oh.
I literally said, ask what is the first time Google it was used.
Yeah, first recorded used to. Oh, no. It's not giving me anything about Google it.
Give me your phone.
It's literally not giving me anything about Google it.
Give me your phone.
No.
Give me your phone.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's why I'm trying to reword it, because it's giving me the history of the word Google, not the term Google it. That's, yeah.
In the mention of the search engine itself, 1998, okay?
Mm-hmm. Keep going. Mind you, this is Gemini, by the way.
No, it's not. It's Google AI.
That's Gemini.
No, it's
Google Gemini.
No.
Yes.
This is Google.
That's Gemini AI, though.
No, it's Google AI.
Which is Gemini.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Connor.
Gemini is Google AI.
No.
Yes, it is.
No. When you search on google.com, it's the Google AI that's answering you. When you go to Google Gemini, you're using Google, but you're using their app, which is different, not their website. Anyway.
Well, I guess using generative AI, yeah. But it's still...
It's not Gemini.
Well,
it's
Gemini
AI.
is...
No,
Gemini technically is... what did I say? The generative AI.
Anyway, I think the first time Google it was used was in Hot Tub Time Machine. I might be wrong. But anyway, look it up as a movie reference.
Oh, I don't know why you looked at FIFA World Cup 2026. When was the first time the term Google it was used? I don't know why FIFA's in there. Hold on.
AI. All right. So anyway, I'll tell you what. While we're trying to do this, let's watch a quick video on the heat shields. Those things are going to help us prevent us from getting burned.
Mm-hmm.
The prep is the protection. Here are your heat shields. Your first 90 days heat shield is the active listening protocol. The heat in the first 3 months is the urge to prove you know everything. Deploy this shield by asking thoughtful questions, taking meticulous notes, prioritizing listening over speaking. This approach shields you from overcommitting or making rookie mistakes and signals to your team that you value learning and collaboration over ego. The shields are up. Murphman, what's next?
This is everything we've been talking about, right, Connor? Take notes.
Mm-hmm.
Take notes, ask questions, listen, right? And don't overcommit. Those are real simple steps that you can take. Is understanding your situation so that you can succeed those first 90 days. Take your notes, use your system, learn it. Now, I know people when they start off, okay, what do I do first? And then what do I do second? What do I do third? Sometimes you can overdo that, right?
Yeah.
But let me see again. Show me again. One thing I can tell you, talking with Tony P from Stream 915 Studios, he has this bag that it's all laid out. And he's like, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I don't understand. Well, when we put it away, you can see it. So we put it away, and I'm like, I still don't understand. And I didn't do anything for like a month or a couple weeks later, you know. It took me several times to learn how to do it, right? I'm like, Tony P, what do I need to do here? Here. What is this where you do? Yeah. Is this where you, no. You know, he didn't sit there and say, okay, we're going to learn this, because I didn't take his course to learn. I learned on the job. So I would say, where do you want me to put this? Over here. Where do you want me to put, you know, after a few times I learned how to do it, you know, and that's actually helped me learn the whole process of production. And I'm using it here in our studio now. But you need to practice it, and you need to observe, and you need to ask questions. Most important thing, listen.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, and you'll get through things. Listen, and you'll be able to get through things better. Okay? So think about that. And I want to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about the afterburn and those questions you can ask yourself. What is something I need to know in order to succeed at work? So we will return after the break.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murphman will return after these messages.
Down Lincoln again, droplets form against the windows, early morning light, and shadows bend to colors, reaching for the lenses in my eyes, which take them, turn them upside down, and though I do not know quite how, they will be turned right back around and spit back out. Conduits and cabling which disassemble them, processing from noise and light, still springs in static motion and information. Oh, suddenly see
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at mbradio.u.
Okay, we are back. Before we get any further here, we want to talk about Google It. The movie, Connor, was
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, I knew it was something stupid. Now, the term Google It wasn't used this way. They actually said it in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They asked,
Have you Googled her?
Have you Googled her? And the person replies, no, she's only 17. Because it does sound a little sexual, doesn't it? Like,
yeah. Have you Googled, like, ooh,
right?
Yeah.
And she said, no, it's a search engine. Have you ever heard of product placement, Connor?
No.
Companies pay to have their products in movies.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we're not getting paid for this, but Rudy's barbecue.
No one can see that here.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right. There we go.
Rudy's.
All right.
Not sponsored by them, but we go literally just to get like almost every souvenir.
No.
Yes.
We only go around October time for breast cancer awareness cups.
Well, no, not always.
Well, no.
We got the red ones. We got like limited edition if they have any. Not just in October.
Yeah, the military ones and the breast cancer awareness. Those are the two that I collect.
What about the red and black one?
They're just the regular cups, everyday use.
That's really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So anyway, Google paid to put their name into that movie.
Yeah.
Right? The best example of ever product placement is Wayne's World. I know you probably don't remember the movie, but he's like, I will not bend to companies just for money. Oh, I have a headache. Let me use Excedrin. 2 little pills. He's like, I don't think it's nice that I have to eat something with their name on it. And then he opens up a Pizza Hut box and is like, Pizza Hut. It's a whole clip with Rob Lowe and Wayne and Garth. And Garth is like, yeah, I don't believe in, and he leans back on the couch. He's dressed in all Reebok, right? Product placement, man. I gotta tell you. So Google was first used in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We got that cleared up. Thank you very much, Connor, for finding it.
Of course.
I knew it was out there on the internet. I knew it was in Google somewhere.
He made me look up Hot Tub Time Machine. I was like, I don't think it's Hot Tub Time Machine.
But you know what it was that I got confused with?
What?
Do you remember he goes back in time and he creates
himself?
Lugal. His name was Lou. So when they come back to the time, the doorman comes up and says, here's the Lugal maps. And
yeah.
Like, what? Lugal. That's why I was confusing it. But yeah. All right. Anyway, we're back. Let's get to those questions we have to ask ourselves in today's Afterburn.
Reflect on your value. In today's Afterburn, here are some questions for you to reflect on. What impression do I want to leave by day 90? How can I show curiosity and initiative without overstepping? Who can I learn from in this new environment? Reflection complete. Murphman, time for your final thoughts.
All right. So what impression do I want to leave at day 90? Right? Because they have to come back and do an evaluation with you. Tell you did good, you did bad, you're going to stay, you're going to go.
Should I stay or should I go? Something like that.
Can you name the band?
Oh, God, no.
The Clash.
Yeah.
It's an 80s band.
Would have never gotten The Clash.
All right. How can I show curiosity and the initiative without overstepping? So
By
sorry.
not coughing in their face.
You know, you want to ask questions. You know, in the Army, one thing that we do is we try to learn 2 jobs ahead of us and 1 below us, because sometimes, you know, people
move up or move down. Yeah.
Well, no, something happens in combat and you have to take over their job.
Oh.
I was a counselor in the Army, a behavioral science specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I got a chance to play soldier, like go to the field and learn the skills, I learned everything I could. Okay. To the point where one time, and it's on my award, not my award, my certificate from everybody. I'm sorry, I'm remembering. We went to a base in Fort Irwin at NTC, National Training Center. And we were at the base and we stayed overnight because my psychiatrist boss wanted to stay out and camp out one night. He wanted to experience that. So my coworker, myself, and him, we all went out and we set up at this one base, and we were there to do training or whatever. And the base gets attacked in the morning by tanks, right?
Oh.
And planes and simulated attacks, right?
Yeah.
And there's one guy next to me, he gets injured. And he's like, his laser tag Miles gear goes off, right? Beep, 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 whatever. He's like, I've been shot here. And he hands me a javelin anti-tank killer. So, like, I go kill a tank. And my boss, the NCIC, and my psychiatrist, my boss was like, how the hell do you know how to fire that? That's like combat arms stuff. I said, because I like to learn stuff like this. And you know, he says on the award, he goes, thanks for jumping in front of the tank and saving me.
That's hilarious.
It is. And I have that on my award, and yeah, it's there. And I think it's one of the funniest comments ever. But in the actual award, when I left the base, you know, they give you an award every time you leave. His statement was something that I still remember to this day. He says, his recommendation letter, I should say, he says, if I ever went to war, I want Murphy by my side.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very big compliment. And I remember that like it was just yesterday, dude. We're talking about 1992. You know, it's amazing.
How long ago was that? 34 years?
34 years ago. I still remember like it was yesterday.
Or 33.
But, you know,
I don't know why it's not loading.
oh, geez. Anyway.
content shakes you, consumes all that makes you deep inside your bones. In a moment, choose the things you want and remember who you are and who you want to be. An anonymous dream came calling deep inside your soul. Let it came with love and splendor, everything you owned. It's right there for us. Just take a chance. How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid to take it as it comes? How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid? Just desperately in love. In moments we become absorbent, open to all currents of electricity. An anonymous dream came calling deep inside your soul. Let it came with love and splendor, everything you owned. It's right here for us. Just take a chance. How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid to take it as it comes? How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid? Just desperately in love. Take my hand into the further. Let's go and fall forever. You take my hand into the further. Let's go and fall forever. How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid to take it as it comes? How does it feel to fall forever? Don't you know I'm not afraid? Just desperately in love.
All right, we are back, you guys. Apparently, that's the thing that got cut out. What I was talking about was I remember like it was yesterday, 34 years ago. The doctor put a message out on my letter of recommendation, said if you ever went to war, it'd be Murphy, one by my side. And I thought that's really cool. I'll never forget him. But going back to the afterburn, let me go ahead and do this here. What impression do you want to leave for the 90 days? Okay. How can I show curiosity and initiative without overstepping? We were talking about that. You don't want to go in and be a know-it-all, but you want to ask questions and learn your job first before you can learn anyone else's. And who can I learn from in this new environment? You know, you want to find out who your best point of contacts are. You want to be able to find out who your best point of contacts are. So as you find that out, you learn who to talk to, who not to talk to, and all that stuff, right? It's all part of the game. So I'll tell you what, let's talk about some technology real quick in our segment called The Digital Inferno.
Document the journey. Your first 90 days are not about showing off existing knowledge. Use project management tools like Asana or Trello to transparently track your early wins and share progress asynchronously. Schedule your 30, 60, and 90-day check-ins immediately via Google Calendar to show your manager that you are proactive. Use digital note-taking apps like Notion or OneNote to organize your process documentation and maintain your active listening protocol logs. The inferno is digital. Back to Murphman to talk about the segment.
So yes, first things first, use project management tools, okay? I advocate use stuff like this, a to-do list. Now, recently I had a situation with a to-do list. I had a situation that I had to do something in December. Do you remember I was telling you about that? Without any specifics, right? And then we got COVID and the flu over the holidays. It was a horrible holiday season for us.
Worst Christmas ever.
The second worst.
Yeah, second worst. Yeah.
I'm not laughing because it's bad. It's, yeah, second worst Christmas. And then recovering from that, then Connor gets sick with his heart attack. And then my computer crashes. So this first month coming back from on vacation and I'm free, I'm actually able to research all this stuff. And I find this to-do list pops up on my old computer. Don't forget to do this. I was like, oh my God. So I went and did it right away, but yeah, you want to use project management tools.
It's supposed to be due
in December.
January or December. Yeah.
And
we finished it 6 months
later.
Well,
I finished it. Yeah. Just schedule your check-ins, use Google Calendar. Yesterday when I was at the dance hall, she's like, I want you to come this date and this date, the 10th and 25th, I said, okay. I went immediately into my calendar and boom, boom, added them. Just because. Okay. Monday I have a lunch date in the calendar. Tuesday morning I have a breakfast with a business meeting in the calendar. It goes in there immediately, you guys. Okay. And note-taking apps. What I think is funny about this is my doctor at the VA uses Scribe, which is a AI note-taking program, right? And it records everything we talk about.
Oh.
And I was like, some things I don't want to be on the record. Because we talk about off-the-wall stuff. Because I was in a treatment, I had to wait 5 minutes between treatments. So we were just talking in those 5 minutes about stuff. And we ended up talking about some really weird stuff. Sometimes having those note-taking capabilities is not the best. Something I'm going to be using is Letterly and Obsidian Sync. Those are two new technologies that are out that I'm using in my businesses. It takes notes. And what's really cool is, like, I talked to Google Gemini. It takes my notes from that conversation and then formats them really nicely. Not just repeats it. It actually formats it into a format that I have. And then the sync, it syncs to my computer. And if I'm doing a business call with somebody, and Connor's calling me, I type in Connor's file and it pops up and says, Connor's birthday is this date. Any data I put in about you to remind me who you are. Hey, I can say, how's your wife? How's your kid?
Yeah.
And it makes me look much more professional. But use those project management apps, you guys, and you'll definitely get along better. And then last but not least, our final burn.
Quality matters. The caption for today's discussion is, your first 90 days aren't about being perfect. They're about being present, prepared, and proactive. The final flame has been struck. Back to Murphman to wrap the show.
Real simple. You can't be perfect. Perfection does not exist. It's not real. Be present in the moment. Be aware of what you're doing. Be prepared for work. And be proactive, meaning don't react. Be aware of situations and try to do as much as you can before you get into an issue. Okay. That's our final burn for today. But I hope you found this interesting, Connor.
I did.
You know, it was one of those subjects that we talked about today that we don't really realize how impactful our first 90 days is. And be aware of that. It sets a tone for the rest of your career there. You know, rarely, if you do something bad, it's hard to overcome it. You know, sometimes you do something so bad, they're just like, you're fired. Just let go.
Yeah.
A good example of that is Undercover Bosses.
Oh, I love that show, but I hate it. I feel so bad for the employees.
They're always getting fired.
Yeah.
The bosses are, because they don't know how to do the job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. I think that's pretty funny, but it just, 90 days matter. But I'll tell you what.
Well, speaking of 90 days, you're starting your new businesses, right? With your LLCs?
Yes. I am going to be doing that this week. Hopefully I get to file everything by Wednesday. That's my plan right now. And by Friday, have a business.
You excited?
I am very excited.
You terrified for your first 90 days of 3 businesses?
No. One, I'm already doing all the editing and video production and everything with the podcast and whatnot. I'm already doing that. I just put a title on them. My Aztec Animations, my Phoenix Post House, and the Porter Recording Studios where we are right now. That's all part of the Borderland Success Studios. But I have my Borderland Strategies, which is my consulting firm that I'm going to start the business, but I'm not doing anything with it just yet. That's going to go on the back burner.
Okay. It's just like when you have time, you're just going to do it.
Yeah. Since I'm starting all 3 at once, like that every year, any paperwork is due, it's due at the same time for all my companies. Now that's going to be stressful because it's all due at the same time.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing one, I can do all 3, do my taxes, do my reconciliation, everything all together. And then the last one is Borderland Entertainment, which I am very proud of, I got to say.
And why do you say that? Because
it is a business that is, let me see if I can find the logo real quick here. I'm going to see if I can do that. When you're sitting there, anyway, it is going to be my trivia, my bingo, and my karaoke business. And of course, Murphman Entertainment, which is my DJ stuff.
Yeah.
I just started this, right? And at CFAM Party Hall on July 9th, we are doing our first trivia night. And what makes it so significant is I am coming into a market that usually Geeks Who Drink does, and I'm competing against them. Now, they're a nationwide company.
Yeah.
I'm only here in El Paso. If I can get my trivia, which is called Badlands Trivia, right? It's a little bit of Western theme stuff. But it's different than your average trivia.
And why do you say that?
Well, for one, I'm the boss. So if I curse and I get in trouble, I'm not going to fire myself.
Yeah.
I'll just tell myself, bad boy. Right?
Yeah.
But I get to do it the way I want to do it. It's my company. So we're going to have 4 rounds. We're going to have like the multiple choice round, the fill in the blank, the drag and drop, right? And then the survivor. What that is 15 questions. And once you miss a question, you're out. And I'm going to do a little interactive with the crowd. So first thing, I have green flags. I'm going to ask, is everybody ready? And you're all going to wave your flag. Woo! Right? And then I'm going to start. If there's a problem, raise a red flag. Right? People can raise their hand in the bar and you don't even realize that hand's raised.
Yeah.
Okay. The way the brain actually processes information is you see movement
colors,
first.
Yeah.
No, movement first.
Really?
Then a silhouette. And then colors. So the movement is going to catch my attention. Then the color of the flag, right?
Yeah.
Then the second round, because it's fill in the blank, people might put the wrong answer by misspelling or something. And I'll say, hey, you didn't get credit. So they're going to get to challenge me. And I actually have a gavel because I'm the judge. And they have to come up in front and challenge the question and say, all right, here's what I wrote. I think that should be right because of this, this, and this. And everyone gets to agree. If they agree, green flag. If they disagree, red flag, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll, somebody's going, woo, whatever. It's interactive like that. But in the survivor round, when you miss a question, you're out. You have to raise the ways. You have to raise the white flag. I surrender.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
And if for some reason we have a tie, the way I want to break ties, we've done rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
I did that one time at one of my events, and they went, I think it was like 6 rounds because they kept tying on it. And it was a lot of fun. But I'm going to do the old Western card draw. Everyone's going to have their own stack of cards. So everyone has an equal chance of pulling out any card. And they're going to pull out, and the higher card wins. So it's going to be very interactive. It's going to involve the crowd. I'm going to interact with the crowd. It's not just going to be like, here's the question number 1. Whatever. No. It's going to be very interactive. And another thing I can do is I have teams you can join, right?
Oh, like group teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
So other trivias, when you do a group team, you have 6 people playing and one person has to enter the information.
Yeah, that's how
groups
usually go.
Usually, that's my point.
Like group projects.
I don't do that.
Oh, you don't?
No. Here, check this out. If I'm playing by myself and you have a team of 6, that's 6 brains against 1. You see what I'm saying? So you have an advantage over me.
Yeah.
In my system, you have 6 players, but everyone gets an equal percentage of the point. So, like, let's just say 5 because it makes it easy. 3 get it wrong, you only get 40% of the credit.
Oh, wow.
So your 5 and my 1 are equal as far as the points.
Okay, so if you're in a team and you get it wrong,
everyone enters their own question answer.
But if you get it wrong, then it lowers the
affects the team,
percentage.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow.
That's something that you don't get to do on a lot of trivias because you only have one person that enters it.
So it's 2 different teams, but
or no, it could be 20 different teams.
Yeah, but mainly 2 sides, I guess, left, like A and B.
Yeah.
And everybody's answers are
weighted.
Basically weighted on percentage.
Yeah. So everyone has an equal chance of scoring the same points.
Wow.
Whether you have 6 people on the team or 5 people on the team or 4 people or 3 or 2 or 1.
And it's riskier if you only have one person because
you get wrong, right or wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. It's either 100 or none.
Very good point. You actually have an advantage having a team because you get those extra chances of getting something right.
Shorter percentages being lost.
At the same time, if someone gets it wrong,
it won't be that much taken out.
Well, it does lower your score versus the one person.
Well, but not as much as 0 because that one person could get it wrong also, and now that's it.
Here's another thing that I can do. I can set up my own teams. So when you register for the game, you can pick a team. Now, why does that matter? Well, when I pick the teams, it doesn't matter if you join team A, B, or C. You're still playing individually, but you get ranked in the team that you pick. So it's not the percentage of points like when you actually choose teams to play. It's when you choose a team to join. For example, if I am going to be at a World Cup theme thing, right? I can say, are you team Mexico or team USA? I'm going to join team Mexico and team USA so we can figure out, we have 20 fans for USA and 20 for Mexico, whatever. It has no bearing on the game whatsoever. But you can join a team. But I can do different categories because I choose the categories. I can say I am a very smart team or I'm on the dumb team. I can say you're a pescatarian, vegetarian, or carnivore, right? I can just pick out any category of any teams I want to choose. If I want to say male, female, I can actually have 5 groups and do age groups. So we can see if the younger people are better than the smarter people.
Wow.
So it's very customizable. It is very different than any trivia you'll ever see here in El Paso. And if I do well, right?
Knock on wood, yeah.
We're gonna expand.
Mm-hmm.
And I can actually start expanding and adding on people. But that's trivia. That's called Badlands Trivia. We also have Borderland Entertainment, right? That's my main company. It has Blazing Bingo.
Oh.
Where we're going to be playing bingo.
Okay.
Now, why is this different? Well, everyone knows how to play bingo, right? Okay. The way winners are decided is the fastest one to answer. Well, that's another thing on trivia. You start off at 100 points and you drop down based on timers. So the faster you answer, the more points you score. There's so much customization into it that you can do. On bingo, the faster you answer is how they determine who wins if there's 2 bingos. But again, we go back to you have to yell bingo and you have to raise a flag, right? And I don't want someone to just you played bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. Right? No. I want bingo. That kind of stuff. I want like emotion when you win a bingo. Right?
Okay.
And I want to share that, have that interaction with the crowd. But what's really cool about my program is I could do 1 hour of trivia and 1 hour of bingo. I can actually mix it all in one game. You don't have to sign out and sign up for the new team. You literally click on my link and you go to the next thing of bingo. And I can go back and forth between trivia and bingo. And what's really cool is I can have 10 games set up for, 5 of each, for example. Let's say we're having fun and you want to do another hour. Everybody says, let's do another hour. All right. I'm ready to go for another hour. What do you guys want to play? Bingo or trivia? Red for bingo, green for trivia, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And boom. And then I can also do polls, right? Ask questions and, but I have another thing called social media wall.
What's that?
When you're at a trivia event, we go and take pictures of everybody and put it on our social media. Well, I can have a screen set up where you scan the QR code and you as a participant takes pictures and it gets automatically posted to the wall.
So it's like what every stadium does when people post there and they tag them and then they get posted on the scoreboard. Oh, okay.
Yes, exactly that.
Wow.
And I can do that.
That's cool.
That is cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So many different things we can do with it. It can go anywhere. If you're interested in doing something like this, you definitely can come in and join us. Okay. If you're interested, we're going to be at CFAM Party Hall July 9th at 7 p.m. Now, what I like about these party halls that I'm working with is there's no cover to get in. We don't charge you. It's free. But it's BYOB. You can bring whatever you want to drink into the bar. No bottles, no glass containers, because we don't want anyone
breaking it.
Right?
And then,
But it's BYOB. All you have to do is pay for the setup. And
what's setup?
Ice is a bucket of ice and whatever you need, right? Sodas, whatever. And you pay for setups. And you get to drink whatever you want. So like, let's pretend we go out one night and you like tequila and I like whiskey. Well, I can bring tequila and you can bring whiskey or whatever, right? When you go to a bar, if you want to buy cheap liquor, well drinks, or you want to buy more expensive stuff, there's a big difference. Where I can bring my own bottle in.
Oh yeah.
Like I like Glenlivet. Shots are between $8 to $10 each. 17 shots per bottle. That's $170. Or I could buy a bottle for $60 and have my own shots.
Okay.
So, and then we have food from the food court. You can go buy. You can order from Ceviche Bar. We're going to have that actually. They'll deliver food from Ceviche Bar. We're trying to get the other bars involved also. but that is what we have to offer. BYOB. I think I cannot wait to do this. It's gonna be so much fun. You know, you guys check us out. CFAM Party Hall, July 9th, 9 p.m. I'm sorry, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we're there at the Shops of Solana, 750 Sunland Park Drive. And we'll see you there. If you have any questions, email me at Murphman at pureHotTakes.com. And you can call us at 915-201-0887. We look forward to hearing from you. And definitely see you soon.
See you soon.
See you next week.
That's a wrap on this episode. If you're looking for more, you can find all the best clips from the show on our social media pages. For all the links and more information about what we talked about today, visit purehottakes.com. And if you want to watch the full replay or get access to our premium content, subscribe now at stream915.com. We appreciate you tuning in.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.